Hi everybody, it's Miranda with Multiplicity Crafts, and today we are going to personalize some cards for gift giving, and I thought that I would show you exactly how I did that. Now this is not only good for cards, but it's good for other things as well. So you can see here that I've got these blocks of alphabet letters, and my particular ones came with numbers. The ones that I have in my Etsy shop, they don't have numbers, it's just the letters. But anyway, I just want to show you how these work. These are little clickable pegs, and what you do is you just pull them apart and you can stack them in any order you want. You can do horizontal or vertical, so that kind of gives you some options there. So these particular ones that I'm showing is the large set, and I think these would be good to use like on the front of your card or for scrapbooking, something of that nature. So the next size down, of course, is going to be medium. And again, my medium set did come with additional like numbers and little symbols, but really all you need is just the letters. But I'm pointing out there the little extra symbols that my particular set came with. Anyway, this is the medium size. You can kind of see the size difference, and you could still definitely use this size on the front of a card, or even on the back of a card to maybe put, created by, and then put your name. But, it's just really up to you, however you want to use these. These can be used for labeling or anything else that you so choose. Next up is the small, and this is obviously the smallest size available in the pegs. And you can get uppercase, lowercase, or both. It's totally up to you as to what you need. And you can see that these little tiny letters are a perfect size to still be readable, but yet small enough to put inside a card interior for like an inner sentiment. You can also use these to address an envelope, and they work like a charm. Very, very easy to use. You can just click the letters together in the order that you need, and they're perfectly lined up, and you're good to go. Now also, in addition to just the letters, I have a couple of very limited word game kits in my Etsy shop. One is just the word game stamps alone, and then the other is the word game stamp kit. Now let me show you the difference. The one that just says for the stamps only, it is what you get is for Wordle, basically. You get an acrylic block and you get a large grid and a small grid if you want to journal your Wordle progress. I recently started playing Wordle and I am definitely hooked on it. I'm actually surprisingly good at it, which I don't mean to, toot my own horn, but hey, I love it. Anyway, and so this kit actually comes with the clickable letters as well as the components that were in just the stamp set alone. So you get that additional component if you want to stamp your words into your grid and maybe have a little friendly competition or something with those of your friends that maybe play Wordle or something. So here I'm just going to show you how easy it is to snap these little pegs together. And I'm going to stamp out the words small, medium, and large. And I'm just showing here the size difference when it's actually stamped out so you can get a better visual of exactly what it looks like once it's stamped. So while I'm demonstrating this, I do want to say also, if you have a word, let's say that maybe you want to put two words together or something of that nature, and you need a space in between your words, what you can do is take one of the pegs and just turn it upside down and snap it in place, and that will act as kind of a spacer. And just be sure to wipe the ink off of it after you ink it up so you don't have like a block of ink where your space should have been. But that's an easy way, kind of a trick that you can use to have perfectly even spacing if you want it spaced out a little bit further. So you can see there when I stamp the small, it stamps really, really nicely. I have not even primed these stamps. This is just like my first stamping, and straight out of the gate, they stamp just perfectly. Now when I stamped this medium one, I rocked it a little bit too much. You don't really necessarily have to rock these at all. And I got just a tiny bit of an imprint there at the top. No big deal, but hey, if that's the look you're going for, you could, purposely do that just to kind of give a like a rugged stamp look. I don't know what it would be called, but yeah, if that's the look you're not going for, then just don't rock the stamp like I did. I'm not really sure why I did that because I normally don't rock my stamps when I rock. Listen to me. I don't normally rock my stamps when I stamp, but I did that particular time for some reason. So anyway, this is the large, and like I say, this particular size is ideal for card fronts, or even if you want to label things, maybe in your pantry or even in your craft room. This is perfect size. The large, I think, is great for that. Also good for scrapbooking and other things that you could think of. I know you're very creative people that watch this, so I'm sure you can think of more uses. Anyway, I did want to show you what the grid looks like in the stamp kit, and the small letters. They're a little bit different, maybe just slightly bolder than what the small font is normally. This is all considered American typewriter font, just in case you're wondering. So this set does come with the acrylic block that you can just stick your little stamp onto. Everything you need is contained, so that makes it really nice. All you have to do is just peel your little stamp off of the acetate backer, just pop it on your acrylic block, and you're ready to ink up and stamp. Notice that I have not stamped with this particular grid before, yet when I stamp it the very first time, I'm not getting faded lines and it's not looking like splotchy or anything, so it's really shocking. I'm surprised because, like I say, I haven't primed these stamps at all. And so that kind of speaks to the quality of the stamps, I believe. And so I'm just adding nice, firm, even pressure all the way across as you normally would when you stamp. Lift that up and you've got your little Wordle grid if you want to journal your Wordle progress. I'll show you how this Wordle stamp kit works, but I also want to show you some alternate uses for this grid that I think you'll find come in handy. So you can see that I can just take these stamps apart and I can stamp and I can space it as far apart as I want. I'm not locked into having them, all together and clicked into place. I can use them as standalone letters if I want to do tilted letters or make them go up and down or anything. You have that option with these stamps. So the way that you play Wordle, if you're not familiar, you basically just type in a 5-letter word. It's an app on your phone, but this is if we want to track our progress. So let's say that I type in the word cable, a nice 5-letter word, and Wordle will give me some little letters that may be lit up in different colors. You may get some yellow, green, or black, gray looking boxes, and so basically, that just tells you what it means. So if you get yellow, that means yes, that letter is in the puzzle, but not in that position you have it in. And if you get a green, that means you have got the letter in the right place, and it is definitely a letter in the puzzle, obviously. So in this particular one, I typed in, looked off, and I saw that the C was grayed out, so that means there is no C in the puzzle. The A and the B looks like they're in the proper spot, and I know there's an L and an E in the puzzle somewhere. If I rearrange those, I come up with the word label, and lo and behold, my second guess, I actually guessed the word. Shocking, but it happens. So sometimes you can try to even have a little friendly competition with yourself too. I also want to show you with this grid how you can make different card designs with it. I would think if you could line it up perfectly, maybe in your MISTI or a stamp positioner, or even just do it by hand, that you could make a sort of a calendar grid somehow with it. I think there's a way probably you could do that. So I'm just going in with my Copic marker and I'm just coloring in the little gaps in between these grids that I stamped. And I'm going to actually create a little card out of this using markers and the stamp only. It's a super easy card, and to me, I found it relaxing to make because I love to color. When coloring a card like this with this design, you don't have to have any specific art skills to do that. You can see I just colored in the blocks. Almost looks like a Rubik's Cube in my estimation, but it could be whatever you want it to be, like a checkered flag or something of that nature. If you have a person in your life that likes race cars, or you could even do like a checkered floor to look like a 50s theme. But on the inside of this card, I'm going to put the sentiment, "You color our world." Now, the good thing about this is you can alternate upper and lowercase. You can line up the stamp however you choose, and you can make it say whatever you want. You could even put the person's name on there. You could put just a personal message, maybe an inside joke that you all have. Isn't that just so awesome that you could have a card that personalized with just one stamp set? You could do that for all of the people in your life. If you send out Christmas cards or birthday cards, each one could be personalized. So after I have this stamped out, you can see how nicely that looks. And then all you have to do is just glue that inside your card. And you have a complete card creation using only these stamp kits and just some markers and, well, a little bit of glue and paper, obviously. But you get the point, right? So anyway, this is what the finished card looks like. I'll show you a couple additional shots of the finished card, just how easy it is to make a cute, colorful card. You could add a lot more to this, but this was just a quick example to show you what you can make. Now I'm going to show one more example of a card you can make, and I'll leave the rest of the creativity up to you. Here I'm showing how you can use markers instead of actual ink, like from an ink pad, on your stamps. So like I say, my particular set did have little flowers and different shapes, but you could even use some stamps you already own for the background. The point of this being that you can color on these stamps with water-based markers and get really nice impressions and make a custom background. You could even type the person's name over and over in the background and just kind of stagger it. You could type the person's years, like say they're 10 years old. You could just type TEN and then just kind of stagger that all over the background in different colors. Something like that, just giving you some little vague ideas that you could probably build upon. So you get the idea that this will definitely work with water-based markers. Not really sure why I set the marker down after each time. I've already made fun of myself for doing that, so we don't need to make fun of me for doing that. But anyway, this is the finished card. I just threw a die on there, a word die that says thank you. But I wanted to show you how you can customize your envelopes. So you can even use the same color theme that you used on your card to customize your envelopes. Maybe you have somebody in your life that has a very unique name or a name that you can't normally find printed out on souvenirs or things of that nature. It would thrill them to be able to see their name actually, printed out in a stamp form. That's just so awesome, because I kind of know that because my name, even though it's Miranda, is spelled Maranda. And so it's really nice to see my proper name with proper spelling on something. It just makes it feel extremely personalized, and that the person took extra care to pay attention to my name, my spelling, and I don't know, just something about it makes you feel like they really did put the time and effort into it. So on the back of this envelope, you can see how nicely this stamps. And when I place the card beside it, you can see how nicely this coordinates with the envelope and the colors and everything. It just is so nice to have that cohesive look. So here are some additional shots of this particular card. Again, I didn't really spend a whole lot of time on the card, just trying to show you how you can put two and two together to make a custom look with custom colors and your own font with the words you want. Here are a few more uses for the Pegs clickable stamps. I'm sure that you can come up with very, very many more, but this is enough to get you started and get your creative juices flowing. So these are available in uppercase and lowercase at my Etsy shop. I have them in small, medium, or large, so it's your pick. Remember, I also have some limited design of the word stamp grids as well as the word stamp kits, which comes with the grids, acrylic block, as well as the pegs. So let me know what you think. I will have my Etsy shop linked below for you, and I really appreciate you watching today. Let me know some ideas that you could come up with for this stamp set. I would love to hear them. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.